And we're live. I was listening to Ari Lennox. Fuck around to find out. Fuck around to find out. I love her. She can do no wrong. I love Ari Lennox. But happy Friday the 13th. Whether you're here or you come to this recording later, happy Friday the 13th. It's an auspicious day. It's a day of good luck, divine feminine energy on her day. Yes. Yes. Okay, we're ready. Getting ready for spring. Okay. We're getting ready for spring. Somebody talking shit because my left eye is tweaking right now. But hope all is well with everyone. Uh, I'm gonna snack and talk. But I got my full deck here. I plan to go live on TikTok, but I'm like I'm supposed to be focused on my YouTube right now. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I hope everyone can hear me well. Okay. So I'm gonna just go ahead and get started and everyone can catch up later. I feel like that's the energy right now with Saturn moving into Aries tomorrow. The 29-degree Pisces always, maybe because it's in my eighth house, but it always makes me feel like an exorcism is taking place. Like there is a forceful need to release and let go of everything you think you believe is right or wrong and make room for the new, which is the 0-degree Aries or 30 degrees Pisces, which is the last, but also the beginning. So those who will be last shall be first, and those who are first shall be last. And that's what's taking place right now. It's a lot going on collectively where this, like I said before, on the sevens. If you are not aware of on the sevens, make sure you find that YouTube channel on the sevens. With Pythagoras B Metatron. Shout out to him for allowing me to be on his platform. I love that I get to do my thing there. So I am so grateful for that. But even there, I discussed how this Black History Month isn't just about, the usual. When we was coming up, it was like, oh, slavery and, we're not slaves anymore and all the other bullshit. And it's like, we're so beyond slavery now. It's like we are into deep into our roots right now. We're deep into our roots and our beginnings. We're starting to see the connection between how people that worked and how we're connected to Europe, and like Russia and Germany, and how we show up all over the earth, really, and similar in same fashions. Even though we all have our own signature look, we all still connected to each other. So we don't have to limit ourselves anymore. And it's not just about, the copper colored people or melanated people starting to reconnect to the root of who we are. We're also, with that truth being uncovered, is shattering a lot of ideologies and false belief systems that were created in order for those things to take place, such as slavery or the demeaning of melanated people. All of that is being uncovered, and at a faster rate right now, especially with Pluto being in Aquarius. So I'm allowing myself to be a vessel and channel in that energy, Archangel Raphael energy right here, the healer, and Archangel Michael protecting me. So today is Friday the 13th. This was considered to be like a negative connotation because it was connected to the divine feminine or matriarchal society. And we're kind of coming back online with matriarchal systems, not to completely take away everything that patriarchy has built, but patriarchy was built on the bloodshed of women and the midwives, and calling them witches and doing witch hunts and taking their foundations away and making them unstable so that they have to rely on men, and we've done a lot of erasure of that recently, to where now people are
so caught up in the gossip or the narrative that, you know, women are too strong, especially melanated women. You're too strong, you're masculine, you're this. And it's like, we didn't have a choice, because how was we gonna get ourselves out of basically still being a slave to the patriarchal system? You know what I'm saying? We had to get ourselves out of that mentality that we need to rely on our husbands or the men in our lives for everything, instead of tapping into our own creativity that already existed. It's like matriarchy was here and then it got completely erased. You know, the books were erased, the memories were erased, because they killed adults and left the children to rewrite the story. And with those people spiritually, that energy returning, it's like we're all starting to remember now. As Porphyrius B Metatron would say, there's this is the return to Ma'at, right? This is the return to back. Okay, so I just got kicked out. But I was charging my phone, so I just, you know, removed it. But it was like, even with the whole thing with Bitcoin, no one knows specifically who started it or who created it and all this other stuff. And now it's connection with the, you know, those documents, because I don't want to say the F word, but that connection with the documents and all that stuff has people frazzled, and it's tanking it's tanking in the, you know, in the money market. But that just leaves room for everyone else to go ahead and jump in and invest, because it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Having privatized monetary means is not going anywhere. So you should still continue to hold your investments that you have, if you have any investments in Bitcoin and NFTs and things of that nature, because Uranus is about to move into Gemini really soon. So basically, the universe is helping people to wake up to their real value. The universe is telling people, you know, whatever you desire, whatever ingrained belief systems that you have in the back of your mind is what is creating your reality. And when you decide to take ownership of that, instead of allowing a society or a structured authority to tell you what you are here to do, you have to silence that structure and turn into your inner voice a lot more. So today, I just wanted to just pull in some messages that we have with this Thoth deck for this Saturn Aries. I know tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so I was open to doing relationship readings and stuff like that too. But right now, collectively, we are coming out of a fog. We're coming out of being confused. We're coming out of wondering what's the right and wrong choices. With Saturn moving into Aries, you're just going to be instinctively knowing what you're supposed to do, because it's already in you, not on you. And when we allow what's in us to seep out, and we trust in ourselves, and we get rid of the ideology that you got to pull something from the outside in order to feel stable, instead of pulling what's inside all the way out. You know, that's how we make our lives the way that we want it to be. That's how we make our dreams come true. That's how we start to balance things out and let go of the need to control the output, let go of the need to try to control people, because people always show up, people always come into our lives when we are on our path and we don't deviate. When you deviate from your path, you tend to lose momentum, number one, but then you tend to lose focus on what's most important. So you don't want to chase the dollar, you don't want to chase a person, you don't want to chase a feeling either. You want to sit with yourself, especially during the 29-degree Pisces energy. And we're going to come back here when the sun is here to remember everything. Thank you, Allison. Hi. When the sun goes to 29-degree Pisces, we're going to be remembering everything that we went through while Saturn was in Pisces, while Neptune was in Pisces, even when Chiron was in Pisces. All that hurt, that pain was collective, because it's a Pisces energy. It was collective. And we're not going to pay attention to followers. We're not going to pay attention to likes. We're not going to pay attention to subs. We're not going to pay attention to Why is no one like me? Why don't nobody, why isn't anyone seeing me in my gifts? Why is, you don't have to worry about that. You, only thing you have to focus on now is that the you is between you and the universe now. It's just you and the universe now. And anyone who chooses to show up will show up in alignment with you. And we just, our job is to be open, hearts open to receiving what our higher selves has in store for us. And that does mean we have to change our outlook on, you know, it's nothing wrong with religion specifically. The issue with religion is that most religions try to focus on them being the only one with the right answer instead of understanding that everyone has the same story. So if you're the only one with the right answer, but everyone else has the same story and they claim is the right answer as well, then the significant lies in the fact that it's all the same message. So did you get the message, or are you only focused on the messenger? Did you receive the spiritual input that was being inculcated into you? Or are you too caught up in politics? Are you too caught up in the differences, the division? Are you able to open yourself up to the possibility of you being the main source and creator of your life, and nothing else has the impact that you have based on how you feel about yourself? Nobody should be able to break you down. Nobody should be able to take anything away from you, because spiritually they can't. You know, I don't believe in destiny swapping and all that other crap that they got going. It's so much false propaganda that's on the internet these days, and a lot of people are going to tune out of social media and get back to real life. And that's exactly what people need to do, is tune out of the collective idea of this is who you're supposed to be, because Neptune is no longer in Pisces, it's in Aries now. So it's all about the individual. And people might feel like, well, if you have a selfish ideology, then how is that going to help the collective? Well, it starts with the individual. That's what Pluto Aquarius is trying to show everybody. It starts with the individual in the collective. So if we can break through our own fears, our own limitations, and take complete sovereignty of ourselves as an individual, everyone in collective will have an understanding of each other, because we're understanding ourselves and we're all connected as one. We are all the God that we are seeking collectively. And there's different, you know, parts of what that feels like and how that manifests. I mean, there's not just one color in the rainbow. It's multiple colors in the rainbow. It's multiple things that are being made, and even some that may be similar. It's more than one gym. It's more than one restaurant. It's more than one blanket. Like that's the gift of being tapped into your creativity, which we're all creators. You know what I'm saying? So Thoth can let's tap into this mercurial energy with this Thoth deck, and let's get some cards on what message we need to hear the most right now, because I'm channeling like a lot of collective stuff. So what message do we need to hear the most right now? Make it clear. Okay, Queen of Cups. This is the Queen of Nurture. This is the spiritual mother. Okay, this is the Queen of Cups here, the spiritual mother. This is being tapped into your intuition, not doubting yourself, loving on yourself, nurturing yourself. And those around you, they benefit from, your environment will always benefit from you filling your cup and making sure it overflows, not just fill it to the top. Make sure your cup is overflowing. Make sure your cup is overflowing. And that can just basically be like you being in a really good mood, and it's contagious when you have positive energy that other people want to come and grab some. So therefore discernment comes in. Okay, so the intuition being so high and tapped in, and your vibration being really high, and wanting to experience life through the grand creators, you know, energy, Pisces, right? So opposite of that in the South Node right now is Virgo, which is discernment. So South Node Virgo is reteaching us how to use our discernment. We're fine tuning our discernment, our ability to make good decisions, which is Gemini is the decision maker. But Virgo's decision maker, which is the other side of Mercury, is about making concrete changes, like actually doing the work, not just thinking about it or saying it like Gemini does. Okay. So with the Virgo South Node, we're being more discerning about who we let into our space, who we choose to share our lives with, who we choose to operate with, and what type of work are we really doing. Okay, because Virgo is about you doing the work for yourself, servicing yourself, so you are prepared to service another, which is Libra, the other, right? And then you lock in with Scorpio, you commit no matter how. And that's the thing about marriage too. A lot of marriages, a lot of love has been taking place with Jupiter and Cancer. With the regress or the retrograde, there's been a few breakups or public embarrassments going on, but it doesn't mean that the love is gone. It doesn't mean that, there's I really do feel that there will be a baby boom coming, especially now that we see the pain and the hurt of unspoken people like children, being voiced way more than what it used to be. um we don't have to deal with that stuff anymore going into the future, because now there's so much exposure about how we harm our younger selves, or how society has harmed children in the past. And now everyone is collectively coming together because we want to help save and nurture, the future, because they're the ones who's going to build the world that our generations are going to be living in, and we need to be paying more attention to them and how we heal them, how we nurture them, and not break them down like the previous generations used to do. The previous generations used to force their children into boxes, and that just created mental disorders, emotional disruption. And now that collectively we're accepting responsibility for how we treat each other and how we treat ourselves and how we treat children and how we bring children into this world, how we view them and how much protection they really need, not just from people who are trying to use them as prey, but to nurture what they came here to do, nurture who they are on a core level. Okay, and I'm definitely getting that with this Queen of Cups. So any other connections we need to make with this Queen of Cups come through? What other messages do we have after with this Queen of Cups? Okay, I think it just keeps coming back because okay, now because I'm in the sun. Hold on one second. I'm gonna go in the shade so my phone is not hot. I forgot about that when I be like driving.
So we got the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, which is worry. So we're not worrying anymore. Our intuition is telling us not to worry. Anytime something comes up in your day to day that triggers a worry, um, that's just your old life or your past emotions or things that you are no longer connected to is leaving your body. So acknowledge it and then let it go. Okay, acknowledge when you feel something, but do not act. Do not act. And that's not always, it's very much always easier said than done, trust me. I know. But Spirit is saying not to worry, okay? Worry, don't worry. Okay? You don't need to worry. Whatever was out of balance is coming back into balance. Okay? So that's the message I'm getting here. Anything else we need to know regarding this new world, because I do feel like all those prophecies are coming true. It's just that now we're not returning to the same thing that they keep fostering over and over. Now we're all breaking out. The glass ceiling is being broken. Okay. Yeah, the glass ceiling is breaking now. The firmament is being broken. We're starting to see ourselves beyond the flesh. Eight of Wands, swiftness. We're starting to see ourselves beyond our immediate environment. We're starting to tap into the 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever D, dimension of thinking. Okay. And we don't have to die to get to heaven. Okay. And that's a lot of people's fear, is that their lives are not going to be as great as they always wished or wanted because of the sacrifice is so great. The only thing you're sacrificing is letting your ego control you, because that's the quote unquote Satan. That is the quote unquote devil. Yeah, we're bringing things back into balance now, which is not being so attached to the material. to the point where you can't allow your higher self to move and work through you to bring you what it is that you've been working for, or what it is that you dream about, or whatever it is you desire in your heart of hearts to walk into or to live through. Okay? We're so highly connected to, higher entities and energies right now, very sensitive to it as well. Like the words that you speak manifest way faster than they ever have before. And a lot of people might pay attention to that, but they may also continue the negative pattern behavior that they've created as well. So it is about doing the work. Sagittarius is about expanding your mind, being more open to possibilities. You know what I'm saying? So what else do we need to know here? What else? What other messages we have here? Okay, we got the Prince of Disc. In this deck, there are no kings, there are only queens, but the princes are here. All right. So I kind of liken this to a king of pentacles, because you see the bull here, very much Taurus, very grounded type energy. And the five of disc is also here in reverse. So the reason why we don't need to worry, or the reason we don't need to panic, we don't have to worry about the finances. We don't have to worry about, should everyone pull out? Should everyone stay in? Like in the financial market, the stock market, don't let what your eyes physically see trans your mind into being hella negative. Okay? Don't let or allow other people in your physical reality to take you off course, because there's going to be a lot of people right now that's going to show themselves to us, especially when Jupiter goes into Leo this summer. A lot of people are going to be presenting themselves like they have such love and support for you, and then when Jupiter goes retrograde in Leo, you're gonna see the shadow side of Leo, which is the arrogance, the pride, and the ego take over. And we can even get caught up in that personally, because we all have our ego, and the ego is just the part of us that's attached to this physical realm that wants to experience pleasure and love and joy. And sometimes with Saturn being in Aries, we'll trine it, so it's making it easier for us to go after the things we instinctively know we want to enjoy. It just keeps doing it again. But Saturn is here to let us know, like, you don't have to give up hope on trusting yourself and following your instincts, because your instincts are correct. It's just that you have to, with Saturn, is have structure, be organized, commit, okay? Give your all 100%, and be consistent, stay disciplined. That's going to be the next 3 years, 144, of how we transform ourselves with that nine energy, using wisdom, that discernment with the South Node Virgo, in how we make decisions and how we create the life that we want for ourselves. We can't wait for a government, or wait for a spouse, or wait for family, or wait for the right time. That's all an illusion. And when people are starting to wake up and realize that, and accept it, and also forgive yourself for rushing, for panicking, for feeling like the whole world is falling apart when you don't have 222, when you don't have things in the order that you think they're supposed to be in. We're not supposed to be carbon copies of what someone else's story was. We have the story of Buddha and of Jesus and Shiva and all these great, stories of how we can allow our greatest self to manifest when we let go, and we can't necessarily kill the ego, permanently, because we're still here in this physical realm. So we still have to learn how to adjust and deal with the ego, and recognize when the ego is, stepping out of its boundaries, and we put it back in place. That's what Pluto in Aquarius is all about, is us releasing that need for our ego to be right. And Pluto Leo is going to struggle. Pluto Leo generation, the baby boomers, are going to struggle so much that they're going to be up out of here in one way or another. If they don't know how to adjust to the frequency, they're not going to be able to sustain being here. And they won't 333, they won't. They'll have to come back. And if they did the work correctly, and they do embrace, when they do leave this physical realm, they can go in peace, knowing that they did the right thing, and they've created love instead of trying to, control through love. And that's a big, big thing that the super duper elder community needs to realize, is you can't control people through love. You can only love without control. You got to be able to open up and let it go. Hello, how are you? So, let's see what else. We got the seven. Okay, it came out in the reverse, the seven of disc. Okay, and this card talks about paying attention to the signs. Okay, and it's failure here. So things have not failed, or maybe you might think you're failing in something right now, but you're really not failing. You just haven't been able to tune in properly to your higher self, your highest connection, because you've been giving all that energy to something that you think is outside of you, when it's really inside of you. It's really a part of you. It's a part of your every being. Okay, we look at our physical bodies and be like, okay, our organs are on the inside, right? But when you think about your higher power, or God, or whatever you want to call it, the original creator, supreme source wisdom, um, that manifests everything that we see. We're encased in it, like a womb, like a mother. When a woman is pregnant, her child is inside of her. We are inside of our higher selves. Our higher selves is protecting us like a shield, covering us. And yet we still walk around so attached to the physical reality in our flesh, thinking, oh, I don't want to do that because I'm afraid. Oh, I don't want to do that because I might get hurt. And the whole time you're still protected. Whole time you're still protected. It's when you step out of that belief system, or knowing, really, when you step outside of knowing that you're always protected, that's when you get what it is you've been manifesting in your head. If you continue to think that something has the ability to completely snatch your energy away and be given to somebody else, if you really believe that, if you really believe that delusion, the universe, being abundant and generous, will give it to you each and every time, until you wake up and realize, okay, can't nobody take my essence. Nobody has the direct connection to my higher power within me to take anything from me. It's all an illusion. We're all tuned in to the one source. So of course there's going to be people who are here creating the same things that you want to create. Of course you're going to run into people who like the same things you like. You're supposed to. It's confirmation. That's all it is. It's just confirmation. I'll just smell something, so I'm gonna turn my car off for a second. But it's like, I smell the Burger King. But it's like, you gotta tune in deeper into that. You're not losing anything by giving your energy away in a way that is more like following your aligned path. When you follow your path, you can't lose because you're on your path. When you try to copy other people's path because y'all have similarities, that's where you fuck up. And the universe will remind you, hey, 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 you got your own thing you have to do. Even if you're working with people, 11th house, Aquarius energy, you're working with people where you have similar paths, but that doesn't make your path exactly the same. You're just here to do the same type of work, you know? And the 11th house, or Pluto, being in Aquarius, is helping us to find treasure in each other, find treasures, hidden wealth, manifesting through people who struggle and gone through the most, but still the underdog in the story. If you know you're an underdog in your story, just keep going, because the people who are supposed to be there, the tribe you're supposed to have, they're going to show up. They don't have no choice but to show up, but you got to be in the energy. You have to be in the frequency of it in order for it to show up. Okay? And that's focusing on what can happen, what will take place. Okay? Detaching from the old thinking or old ways of living where you keep saying I can't, or it won't work, or don't. That's not reality. That's an illusion. It's an illusion. A lot of illusions have been taking place during this Neptune Pisces, and now that it's in Aries, the spark is back. The truth of who we are as an individual is back. And it's not going to be based on your color. It's not going to be based on your money. It's not going to be based on where you live. It's not going to be based on what kind of food you eat. None of that shit matters. None of that shit matters. Of course, you want to take care of your physical body, your flesh, because you only get one body here. So of course, you want to live in alignment with your divine assignment on the physical part. But it's deeper than that. It's always been deeper than that. Your spirit, or the what happens in the dark, comes to light. What we carry in our womb as a mother gets birthed from the dark into the light. And that's what we're going through right now. We're going through a collective rebirth where we're leaving that Neptune Pisces and coming into Aries where the light is bright. Sadly in hospitals they have the lights really, really bright so they can see in the crevices of what's taking place and what's going on. We working as a team right now collectively as we work on ourselves to allow the rebirth to take place, allow ourselves to open our eyes a little bit more.
Look around and notice how everything really is different. Even if you live in the same house, even if you go to the same job, even if you are around the same family, you will not see life the same because Neptune is in Aries now. The light is brighter. There is no light in the dark. There is no one eye works in one. No, they're both equally 20/20 vision now. Okay. And a lot of stuff about the truth of 2020 is coming to light right now as well. Even before then, we had the Great American Eclipse in 2017. A lot of that information is coming to light now because it's supposed to. It's not about hating somebody who sits in a chair and runs a state or a conglomerate. It's do you get the message? It's only about the message. Don't focus on who the physical person is. Are you getting the message that you can do anything you want to do? All you have to do is commit. Stay disciplined. Stay focused on your path. Don't worry about who can't come or who won't like it. That's not the point of being here. It's about you experiencing joy. That's the only reason we come here. Is to remember, like, hey, I'm a part of something so wonderful and so great. So obviously, I am that too. I am that. I am joy. I am pleasure. I am love. Love doesn't come from one exchange from one person to another. Love is the whole reason why all this is even in existence. And you're a part of it. You're not trying to get love from things. You are the love that's trying to, push that energy out. Let that energy come in. It's a cycle like water. Water is a cycle. And I don't know why. I know why, but I really don't like the fact that they're building houses right now with no tubs in it. They trying to prepare people for less water. Where's the water going? To AI? That's a whole discussion in itself. That's a whole mother in itself for I to pop up like that. And a lot of people are scared. A lot of people are worried. You know what I'm saying? They building something in Michigan now, and that's the space where it has the highest, fresh water content. There is no other place like Michigan with all the water. It's a unique place. Michigan was established as Michigan during Aquarius season. Like, there are no mistakes in life. There really are no mistakes. You either go around and you learn through the cycle and you get it. And if you don't, you just go back around again. It doesn't mean beat yourself up because you feel like you failed. It doesn't mean beat yourself up because you have to learn it again. That's not what it is about. So release, relax, and love. That's why we're here 111 on the time. We're here to experience pleasure, not pleasure of flesh, but the pleasure of flesh, Taurus energy, the senses. The pleasure of our second house is about reconnecting to our higher power. That's it. Our higher treasure, Scorpio, opposite Taurus. That's all it is. We copulate, or we have relations with people in a very intimate and, naked way to excite the senses or create or procreate, yes, but it's deeper than that. It's always been deeper than that. And patriarchy minimized it and made it taboo so that you will long for it. And they will sell you things that you think you're buying that longing to satisfy you, but it never does, because that's not it. You can buy all the clothes, you can have the best surgery, you can do all of that. But if you're not connected to the whole purpose of why you came here in the first place and giving gratitude and thanks for that energy, you miss the boat. And the mothership, when she gone, she ain't coming back to come pick you up because you missed the message. You just gonna have to figure it out all over again. And it's nothing wrong with that, because the universe is a giving, nurturing, loving energy. It'll give you anything that you asking for. Something that you don't even realize you're asking for is hurting you, but you're asking, so give. So be mindful of what you're asking for. Okay, I'm gonna make this card my last message, and I'm gonna go because it keeps cutting off. We got the moon card. New moon in Aquarius is coming. It is a solar. It's a lunar eclipse. The sun will have the corona energy around it, surrounding it, so the radiation will be visible. And then further west, going into Mexico, they will be able to view it perfectly. Shout out to Vegas. You will be able to view the new moon eclipse February 17th very clearly. So if you're in that region, kudos. Everyone else, I usually tune in on YouTube to Time and Date. Time and Date is a YouTube channel that shows all the eclipse, the whole entire thing. And they really be close, like you can just see it without having to, like, squint and stuff. Is really good. I shout out to them. But mystery, the mystery of our new beginning. Yes, we're shedding. The moon is going to conjunct Pluto. Okay, and Pluto is about clarifying through purity, getting rid of the impurities, getting rid of the gunk in your trunk. Okay, so if you have to do a liver cleanse, which I think, if you do Ramadan, it's a perfect time to fast and things of that nature. Ramadan starts on the 17th. The year of the fire horse starts on the 17th. We have an eclipse February 17th, and it's a new moon, Aquarius, at the end of the season. 29 degrees. That's the culmination of energy. 29 degrees is a master number. So we're going to master being our individual selves, loving. Wherever you have 29 degree Aquarius in your chart is where you're going to stop listening to other people and focus on what you know to be true for you, even if you're going through similar things to other people. It's still not your path. Their path is their path. Your path is different. It is special, and it's specifically made for you. You can have the same type of relationship problems that someone else got going on, and they might break up and go be with other people. That does not mean your relationship is going to end the same way. It doesn't. And if you give into that and not trust what you know about yourself and your relationship, you know if your relationship is good or if it's bad. You don't need someone else to tell you that. But you do need someone, or you will continue to meet things or have signs and symbols come to you to let you know what direction you should be going in. And you need to listen to that more than you listen to someone else's opinion. And Aquarius people know very well that you're supposed to live life according to what you know to be true. And what gives you expansion, Jupiter, Sagittarius energy, is you're willing to always be open to learning more about yourself through the world around you. How different people are, different cultures, and how we're still all connected to the one same thing, even though we live totally different lives. But your life in 444, your life in America will never be the same as a life somewhere over in Australia. You can have a same job, same family dynamic, but your lives will never be copy, cut, and paste. It will never be cookie cutter. And we need to embrace that a lot more than trying to be like somebody we see on the internet. Because the internet is not going to be the place where we live anymore. We're going to go back to living in our realities. And some people who don't have a reality are afraid of that. Their whole reality has been to control and manipulate other people. And now that they're going down, now that their energy is not going to be fed anymore by delusions, because people are aware, those things won't have to exist anymore unless someone gives it energy to. And sometimes it might just be our shadow self, the old us, the one who felt deprived and invisible. You're going to be seen now. And we have to adjust to being seen. It's not an overnight process. We're going to have to adjust to being seen, accepted, and loved in a way we never done before, because we've given it to ourselves. All right. So I'm going to leave it there and get my ass back to work. I hope you guys are doing well. Know you are well. Know you can trust yourself. Know that you're always being guided by spirit to do and be your best self. And if ever you get confused and you're unsure, just ask. They call it prayer, but you can't evoke or invoke protection, direction, and discernment anytime for anything, and you will be answered, because it's only you versus you. That's it. Don't make your life about someone else. Your life is always supposed to be about you and your destiny. And we're starting to have the balance of that a little bit more as we get deeper into our makeup as a society. You know what I'm saying? We're starting to see, like, oh my God, I really am part of the stars. I really am part of the beauty of life and nature. We are one. So why would I treat myself any less than the magnificence of nature? You don't have to tell birds to fly south. You don't have to tell flowers to bloom. They just do it. Be like Nike, as my mom would say. Be like Nike and just do it. Now's that time. Trust yourself. Neptune, Aries, Saturn, Aries. It's go time. Uranus going into Gemini, Pluto, Aquarius. We have the knowledge. We're doing the knowledge. We're doing the math. And some shit ain't adding up. So act accordingly. If you know something ain't adding up, act accordingly. Move accordingly. Not with regret, but with knowing the truth. And the truth shall set you free. Freedom is not given to you by a system. You create a system that allows you to be free. And that's all I got for this moment. This is about to be the third time I saw my birthday today. So if you're celebrating this weekend, happy birthday. If you're celebrating, happy Valentine's Day. May Saint Valentine get all the love and protection that he tried to give others before he was martyred for love and marriage. Don't believe social media. They only posting stuff from fake accounts to make people fall out of love, to separate people from love and create division. This is the time we need to be tuned into love the most, when we need to be forgiving of ourselves and others the most. And if you struggle with that for whatever reason, because people do a lot of bad shit to us when we just trying to, have good intentions and do the right thing. If you're struggling with forgiving, say the Lord's Prayer. You know what I'm saying? Or again, pray or invoke, knowledge, wisdom, and discernment. Ask for direction on how to handle it, and it will come to you. Just sit still and listen. All right? Thank y'all. It's been real. Now I got to figure out how to end this so I can get my ass back to work. Peace. 11/11.